Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have another light video for you guys. I think we only have two first appearances, two honorable mentions, so only 4 titles on to go through, but there's definitely some books in there worth considering for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending February 9th, 2024. First up from Marvel Comics, Ultimate Black Panther #1. This features the first appearance of a new Ultimate Black Panther. Now, we always recommend picking up the first appearance of new characters in Marvel titles, and Black Panther, that franchise, is incredibly popular, highly collectible, so anytime there's a first appearance of a new character, especially the first appearance of a new iteration of Black Panther, these are books you do want to own in your collection. So this one here is one we definitely think you should pick up. Go ahead and grab this one. And lastly, from Marvel Comics, Star Wars Mace Windu #1. This features the first appearance of Azita Cruz, a pirate. Now, like we just mentioned a moment ago, it's always worth picking up the first appearance of new characters in Marvel titles, and this goes double for the Marvel published Star Wars titles. You know, Marvel Disney is still churning on a ton of media for the Star Wars franchise, and Star Wars, a huge fan base, huge collector base. So anytime there's a new character introduced into the Star Wars comics, these are books you do want to own in your collection. You really don't know what Marvel Disney has planned for these characters. If they hit the big screen or small screen, collectors will race back to the comics and try to find these first appearances. So this is another one we do think you should pick up for your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From DC Comics, Poison Ivy #19. This features the origin of Poison Ivy. Now, we have mentioned this in the past, that origin stories aren't necessarily as sought after in the future as first appearances, especially for characters that aren't necessarily, let's say, the tentpole characters of a specific franchise. And Poison Ivy, she is a main character in the Batman universe, but she's not Batman, which of course, we already know that origin story, so we really don't need any more iterations of the Batman origin. But this here is the origin of Poison Ivy. So this one here is definitely going to be a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up. Now, the DC Comics, like we always mention, they don't really have the cinematic power that Marvel does, or Marvel Disney, so they don't really have as much opportunity to get a lot of these new stories, these origins, or these first appearances onto the screen, and get a lot more collectors and fans interested in them. So this particular origin story of Poison Ivy, it's hard to say how this will be received with fans and collectors, and if it will be sought after in the future. So this one here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up. The Batman universe, probably the most popular and heavily collected franchise for DC Comics, so this one here may be worth picking up for a spec. Grab this one here for a spec if you can, otherwise put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. And finally from Dynamite, Thundercats #1. Now this is the premiere issue of Thundercats, now being published by Dynamite. Now if you're a child of the 80s, grew up in the 80s, you know how popular Thundercats was. It came on every day after school. This is part of the after-school cartoons. Now, this was second only to He-Man and Masters of the Universe. So in our opinion, this series is going to hit really hard. It's going to be really popular starting off. We really don't know the longevity. Like I said, this is more of a nostalgia play from Dynamite. But Thundercats, huge franchise, huge collector base, huge fan base still for this series. So this is one we do think you should pick up for your collection. For $3 or $4, you could be sitting on a huge winner here. If it goes nowhere, if it dies in the future, you're out a couple dollars, but you still have the premiere issue of Thundercats as being published by Dynamite. So this one here may be a little more speculative because you are specking on future strength of this series. But like I said, in my opinion, this is one worth picking up. Go ahead and grab this one. So there you have the 4 titles we have for you guys this week. Another super light week, but definitely some cool books in there worth adding to your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.